Welcome back everybody to episode 12 in my Wolfram Park series on Planet Coaster. In this video I'm going to be working on the backside of the San Marco Square Plaza and also putting in a dinner theater on the backside of the plaza. This theater actually came out really nice on the inside, but I was sort of cramped on room for the entryway into it, so it ends up just being really basic and kind of bland. But I'm fine with how that came out. You'll see later on in the video, and I don't really think I'm going to try to come back and make it look nice or anything in future videos. It really doesn't matter how the entryway was to me. I just really wanted to get the inside of the theater done and looking really good. Also, in probably the next video or two, I will completely finish off the San Marcos Square area before getting on to the Doge Palace, or whatever it's called, at the front of the square. And I'll also be putting in some sort of roller coaster at the back of the plaza. I'm thinking maybe something along the lines of a 1989 Baron style coaster, as a few other people I've seen on the forums have done. It's a short, simple ride, and I think it'll fit very nice at the back of the plaza. I was hoping to get this video out a bit sooner, but I've been sick for about the last week or so I wasn't able to do the commentary recording, even though I've had most of the video footage shot and set up in my video editing software for quite a while now. Hopefully I'll get over whatever it is that I have, and I'll be able to get out some more videos a bit quicker. I actually have almost a month off until my classes start up again. And I'm hoping to really use that free time that I've got coming up to get some videos made, and also prepare for Alpha 3 in, another week now? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, especially water, and I think a few people have mentioned that they think wood coasters may be coming in Alpha 3, which would be amazing. I'm also looking forward to hopefully some new themes coming in Alpha 3. And maybe even some performance improvements and things when they move over to Steam. I'm not sure if any of the back-end stuff for the game will change when they do that. Because I know, like, whatever they're using now, settings set through NVIDIA Control Panel do not change in-game settings. So they're using something that, some sort of renderer or game engine that doesn't get influenced by outside settings. I'm not sure how to explain that really, but if you've played a lot of video games and you've messed with settings through stuff like that, then you probably understand what I'm talking about. So I'm hoping that that changes when they move to Steam, but I really don't know. So there's not a lot going on in the video right now, not much to talk about. I'm just getting the back of the plaza set up with this facade. And then I'll be working on the theater that will be behind about half of it. So I'll be back once there's something to talk about. So I'm skipping ahead a bit here to, I've got sort of the foundations for the theater put down. There was a lot of trial and error for getting stuff to be spaced right and getting things sort of set down where I wanted them to be. So there wasn't a whole lot of interesting stuff to look at, so I just sort of cut most of it out. And then I also apparently wasn't recording when I was putting down the flooring and some of the other walls and things for the beginning of the theater. So it's easier just to skip ahead entirely and start off where you see here. As you saw just a moment ago, I was making this blue wall out of the diamond shaped pieces. I actually ended up changing to using the really big blue rectangle wall signs. I really just wanted to add some different color into this theater area, and one of the pictures I was looking at for some Renaissance or Venetian, or well, it was an Italian theater really, but from the Renaissance period, it had these sort of blue stucco walls down on the main floor, so I was kind of trying to replicate that. And this was kind of the best I could do, but it actually looks pretty nice once the entire theater is put together. Additionally, I wanted to try and get some of the velvet curtains that theaters pretty much always have, and so I ended up using the red pirate flag and just sort of sticking it down through the wall a little bit to try and make a curtain-like texture or appearance. It actually works out really well once the entire theater is built, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's an interesting way to use the flag, I think. I also tried to make a much larger version of this for the sort of centerpiece booth. I don't know what they're called. It's just like the Queen Suite or the King Suite or whatever. It's where it fits more people, and it's right in the center, and it's really fancy and ornate. But I ended up using a whole bunch of flags over top of each other to try and make a larger curtain, and it somewhat worked out, but you can see the pirate skull a little too easily, so it's not perfect, but I think it worked out okay in the end. So as you can see, I'm adding these little lights around the sections of the theater. I didn't think about it, but I used the little poke out lights, the white ones. They're like angled and shoot a big bright beam. I wasn't thinking about it when I used them as the sort of holders for the yellow lanterns, that they would cast a huge like spotlight on the side of the building. It's not too bad once the entire thing is done, but it does create a whole lot of bloom and doesn't look too great for the nighttime shots later on, you'll see. But I think all in all it's okay, and I'm just going to leave it as it is. I had already spent way too much time going back and changing these individual sections and then having to recopy and paste them to create the half circle for the theater. So I really don't want to go back and do that again. As you can see here, I'm starting work on the center box seat, which I just talked about a moment ago, and I actually looked it up. They're usually referred to as state boxes or royal boxes. And yeah, so I'm going to try and make this one poke out a little bit from the rest of the box seating, and then it's going to get a bunch of decoration to really make it stand out and feel special. I really like how it came out in the end. I wish there was some more decorations I could put around on the inside. They typically have a whole bunch of like velvet curtains and things hanging, but I could only use the pirate flag so much before it started looking kind of bad. So I do end up making a chandelier somewhat that goes in the box. The lighting for it comes off a bit odd, but I think the structure itself looks pretty cool. So you should see that coming up here soon. And as you can see, I've had to tinker with these sections again, and I'll be recopying and pasting them around. This was the final time, finally, when I got them how I wanted. But I ended up cutting out probably 5 or 6 revisions of redoing these individual pieces for the theater. So there's not going to be a whole lot to talk about for this next part of the video. I'm just going to play some music while I'm touching up these pieces that are going to get copied around to create the theater, and just sort of getting the final look for the center box. So now that I've got pretty much the shape of the theater put together, I'm going to be working on the stage area. I had another picture from a Renaissance theater that I was using for inspiration for the stage area. I was basically just trying to make sort of like a little city scene, and I'll add a little bit of decoration near the end of the video. It's pretty much just going to be a big wide open stage area with this facade behind it. It doesn't get anywhere near as detailed as some of the other Venetian buildings that I've been doing, but I think that's fine because it's just supposed to be a facade for a theater. But it does get, I think, enough detail to make it look like a building scene. And then I add a few details around on the stage itself. It probably needs some more, but again, I think I'm pretty much done with this part. And I don't really want to come back and mess with it more. I really need to just keep moving ahead and getting other parts of the park done before Alpha 3, and definitely want to try and finish the park before the full game release. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about what's coming up now, so I'm not just playing some music for less than a minute and then cutting it off again to start the commentary. I'm going to be building the tables and chairs for this theater, and I'm kind of using an idea, I think it was from Silverette, for the chairs, where you use the little bracket piece and the ladders from the scenery tab to make these little chairs. And they're actually pretty nice. I mean, they don't maybe particularly fit in this setting, but they're basically the best chairs I've seen so far. And they're really easy to make, and they're pretty easy on like polygon counts and stuff, so I just use that to make my chairs for the theater. And then for the tables, I use the driftwood planks to create these sort of like wide V-shaped tables that can seat up to 4 people apiece, and those will be used down on the ground floor seating. My idea was that this would be a dinner theater, so all of the boxes have a sort of, I probably should put in the driftwood planks to make up a little area where food and drinks could be set for all of the booths, but I honestly didn't even think about that until just now. I think I forgot to put that in. But I guess all the people in the booths right now don't have anywhere to put their food and drink. So I guess they're just out of luck. I had played around with a couple different table designs before creating this sort of V-shaped table. I started out with a round table design, sort of like from Silverette's video, from his Alfenheim series, I believe. But there just wasn't enough room down on the ground floor to have the round table and then also have chairs around it. Plus, I wanted to have all the chairs facing towards the stage, that way some people wouldn't have to turn around to watch the play while they eat. So that's how I ended up making these V-shaped tables, just to try and maximize my space and keep everyone faced towards the stage. Once again, I've cut out some video that was pretty boring to watch and took a long time to get this sort of how I wanted it. At first I couldn't think of what I wanted the theater to be called, so I just had theater on the outside with this with the lights as a sign. But then I was like, I guess I'll just call it like the Grand Theater, so that's what I'm doing here, is adding Grand onto the beginning part of the sign. It's a little time intensive, but it does look pretty cool. I like using these little square lights to create signs because they light up at night and they look pretty good. And now it's time for the part probably everyone wants to see, the real-time footage. So yeah, I was saying earlier in the video, this entranceway is pretty crap, but there's not a whole lot of room to do what my original intention was. And since there's not a whole lot of, like, I wanted to put art on the walls, but all we have are those like Planet Coaster signs. And there's not a whole lot else that can be put there. So really not much I could do with this area, so I just sort of left it bland. And I really just wanted to focus on making the inside of the theater look as good as I could. And as you can see, you can go into all these little booth areas. They all have a pretty good view of the stage. And like I had said just a little bit ago, I forgot to put the planks across the front here where food and drinks could be sat for the booths. I just completely forgot. I don't even know how I did that, but oh well. I guess they don't get anything, and you really gotta try and get your floor seats if you want to have a good experience here. But yeah, see, so over on the side here, I wanted a nice spiral staircase to go up and down between the levels. But I really didn't have the depth I needed between the outside wall facade and then the inside of the theater area. So it's just kind of not that great looking. And also the elevation change for the stairs is too great for how short of a vertical height that you have to go up and down to the different levels. So I couldn't make it like a full spiral like I wanted, but it's whatever. It works fine and it looks okay, and it's really all about the inside of the theater. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. Hopefully you liked it. I'm hoping to get the next episode out somewhat quicker than this one. But yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, share it if you want to, and hopefully I'll see all of you in the next video.